if you don't learn how to outsmart people, they will outsmart you. That's not paranoia, that's reality. Every day you step into a battlefield disguised as a boardroom, a classroom, a family dinner, or even a casual conversation. Power is being exchanged. Influence is being tested. Someone is silently trying to pull strings on you. And if you don't see it, you are the puppet. Think about it. How many times have you walked away from a conversation and realized too late you were talked into something you didn't want? How often have you felt the sting of being underestimated, dismissed, or outmaneuvered by someone who seemed 2 steps ahead? That wasn't luck, that was strategy. And while you were reacting, they were already calculating. Life doesn't reward the one who speaks the loudest. It rewards the one who sees the unseen, hears the unspoken, and acts with precision when everyone else hesitates. Outsmarting isn't about trickery. It's about dominance of the mind. It's about controlling the room without raising your voice, breaking down people without them realizing it, and keeping your power while others waste theirs on noise. Here's the truth. Dominance is not about being the biggest, the strongest, or the most intimidating. It's about being the one nobody can read, nobody can shake, and nobody can defeat in the quiet war of influence. And if you don't master that game, someone else will play it on you. So the question is simple. Are you going to keep being outplayed in your own life? Or are you ready to sharpen your mind, reclaim your edge, and learn the 5 rules that make you untouchable in any arena? Because once you understand them, you won't just survive people, you'll own them. The first rule of dominance is simple. Control the room. If you don't, someone else will. And once you give that control away, it's nearly impossible to get it back. People don't follow the words you speak, they follow the energy you project. Presence is power, and those who know how to wield it bend the environment to their will without ever raising their voice. When you enter a room, understand this. Everyone is already making judgments about you. Before you say a single word, they've scanned you. Your posture, your pace, your eyes, your silence. These are signals. And here's the harsh truth. Most people don't know how to send the right ones. They shuffle in small, they shrink themselves, they talk too quickly, or they fidget nervously. They tell the world, you can ignore me, you can underestimate me, you can dominate me. That is weakness, and weakness is like blood in the water. People will pounce. So how do you control the room? Start with your body. Walk in as though you own the ground you're standing on. Plant your feet firmly. Keep your chin up, shoulders back, chest open. These are not just gestures, they're commands. Your body tells people whether you are prey or predator, and make no mistake, they will decide in seconds. If you want dominance, you don't wait to be invited into it, you claim it the moment you arrive. Next, understand the art of silence. Most people are terrified of silence. They rush to fill it because they fear it makes them look weak or unprepared. But silence in the hands of someone powerful is a weapon. It creates tension. It forces others to reveal themselves. When you're silent, people start scrambling to explain more, justify more, prove more. And in that scramble, they give you information you can use. The one who controls silence controls the pace of the room. Don't be afraid to pause. Don't be afraid to let others sweat. Dominance lives in the spaces between words. Your eyes are equally critical. Never underestimate the weight of a steady gaze. When you look at someone directly, without flinching, without darting away, you send a message. I see you. I read you. I am not shaken by you. Eye contact is a psychological pressure point. Those who can't hold it reveal insecurity. Those who master it create authority without speaking a word. But here's where most people fail. They confuse loudness with control. They think raising their voice, dominating a conversation, or interrupting others makes them powerful. It doesn't. That's insecurity disguised as dominance. Real control doesn't need to shout. Real control speaks calmly, slowly, and deliberately, because the person in command never needs to rush. Their words land heavier because they are measured. Their calm unnerves those who expect chaos. The louder you are, the more you look like you're fighting for attention. The quieter and more deliberate you are, the more attention you command. Controlling the room also means controlling your emotional presence. People will test you. They will try to provoke you, to see if they can shake you, to push your buttons and expose your weak spot. If you react, you've lost. If you stay calm, you've won. Dominance isn't about pretending you don't feel emotions. It's about refusing to let them leak out where others can weaponize them. A controlled mind creates a controlled atmosphere. Finally, remember this. Controlling the room is not about arrogance. It's about authority. Arrogance is insecurity dressed up. Authority is confidence anchored deep. The person who controls the room doesn't need to prove anything. They embody it. And once you learn to control the room, people stop seeing you as an option. They see you as the standard. Because in the end, it's not the smartest voice, the loudest voice, or the most aggressive voice that wins. It's the one who walks in, commands presence, bends the energy, and silently makes everyone else adjust. That is dominance. That is control. And that is where outsmarting people begins. The second rule of outsmarting anyone is this: read before you react. The person who reacts first is usually the one who loses. Why? Because when you react without reading, you're playing their game, not yours. Outsmarting is not about speed, it's about precision. You don't move until you know where to strike. Most people walk through life blind, distracted, and careless. They hear words but miss the tone. They see actions but miss the intention. They live on the surface while the real game is happening beneath it. If you want dominance, you must train your mind to decode what others miss. Every person you meet is broadcasting information, and if you learn how to read it, you'll know them better than they know themselves. Start with observation. Before you open your mouth, watch. The way someone sits, the way they breathe, how quickly they blink, the way their voice changes when they're nervous, all of it is data. Most people think they're hiding their thoughts, but their body betrays them. A foot tapping under the table, that's anxiety. A glance at the door, mid-conversation, that's escape. A fake smile that fades too fast, that's discomfort or deception. Outsmarting people begins with seeing what they don't even realize they're showing. Now take it deeper. Learn micro-expressions. Human faces reveal emotions in fractions of a second. Anger, fear, disgust, contempt. They all flash across the face before someone covers it up. If you can catch that flicker, you'll know exactly what they feel even when their words say the opposite. Imagine the power of knowing someone is lying the instant they say, "I'm fine." Imagine recognizing fear in the eyes of someone trying to intimidate you. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it, and it gives you the upper hand every single time. Reading also means understanding patterns. People are creatures of habit. Pay attention long enough, and you'll know how someone acts when they're confident, how they act when they're stressed, and how they act when they're hiding something. If you know their patterns, you can predict their moves. And if you can predict, you can control. Outsmarting isn't about reacting to the present, it's about anticipating the future before it happens. Here's the mistake most people make: they get emotional. They hear something that offends them and they snap back. They see someone roll their eyes and they blow up. The second you react without thinking, you've lost control. Outsmarting requires emotional discipline. You must become the observer, not the reactor. Let them talk, let them show themselves. Every extra word they say, every gesture they make is free intelligence you can use. Think like an investigator. In interrogation, the smartest agents don't rush to challenge the suspect. They let the suspect speak, stumble, and contradict themselves. They give silence, and in that silence, people panic. They fill it with excuses, stories, and slips of truth. Outsmarting is not about overpowering someone. It's about letting them expose themselves while you stay calm, calculated, and unreadable. Here's the golden rule: the less you reveal, the more you learn. Don't hand people your emotions. Don't hand them your tells. While they're busy trying to read you, you're dissecting them piece by piece. And when the time comes to move, you move with precision, not impulse. Reading before reacting is about flipping the balance of power. Most people live in reaction, bouncing off others like pinballs, manipulated by every word or gesture. But those who master observation, they become the chess players, while everyone else is just pawns. Outsmarting is a game of patience, and the one who waits, who listens, who sees before they speak, that's the one who dominates. Because remember this: knowledge is power, but timing is dominance. And when you read before you react, you're no longer chasing the game, you're writing the rules of it. The third rule of outsmarting anyone is this: never show your weak spot. The moment people see it, they will aim for it. Human nature is ruthless. Even those who claim to care for you will unconsciously exploit your cracks if it benefits them. Outsmarting requires you to build a wall around your vulnerabilities, not because you don't feel them, but because the world doesn't deserve access to them. Let's be clear, everyone has a weak spot. Insecurity, fear, anger, the need for validation. Maybe it's your temper, maybe it's loneliness, Maybe it's your need to be liked. Whatever it is, the second you broadcast it, you've handed someone the manual to control you. And trust me, they will use it. Think about how predators operate. A lion doesn't go after the strongest in the herd. It looks for the limp, the hesitation, the animal that shows weakness. Humans are no different. When you let your anger flare, people learn how to push your buttons. When you wear your insecurity on your sleeve, people know how to cut you down. When you show your desperation, people know how to starve you until you beg. Weakness isn't just exposed, it's exploited. So what does it mean to guard your weak spot? First, emotional discipline. You cannot afford to let your emotions run the show. Anger, jealousy, self-doubt, these may exist inside you, but they do not get to lead the conversation. Outsmarting means practicing the poker face. It means staying calm when someone disrespects you, steady when someone tries to provoke you, unreadable when someone thinks they've found your trigger. The less you reveal, the more control you have. Second, protect your personal story. Stop handing people the blueprint of your life. Too many expose their wounds to anyone willing to listen. Oversharing pain, broadcasting struggles, letting the wrong people into their private battles. That may feel like release, but to the wrong person, it's ammunition. Outsmarting means sharing selectively, not carelessly. Give people what they need to know, never what they can use against you. Third, never confuse vulnerability with weakness. Vulnerability is choosing who deserves your truth. Weakness is leaking it to anyone who can use it against you. You are not required to display every emotion, every scar, every fear to be authentic. True strength is controlled authenticity, showing people what empowers you while keeping what disarms you guarded. This doesn't mean you suppress who you are, it means you master it. Feel the emotions, process them privately, but never bleed in front of sharks. Cry if you must, rage if you must, doubt if you must, but do it in your own space, not in the battlefield. Outsmarting is psychological warfare. And wars are not won by exposing your softest points. Here's the tactical shift. Make people guess. When others cannot read you, they fear you. Uncertainty is power. If they don't know what rattles you, they can't rattle you. If they don't know what motivates you, they can't manipulate you. If they don't know your weak spot, they have no target. Ambiguity is a shield, and the unreadable are always underestimated until it's too late. The truth is, dominance isn't about being perfect or flawless. It's about refusing to hand your opponents the keys to control you. Outsmarting anyone requires mastering this discipline. Show strength, show composure, show authority, but never hand them your soft underbelly. Because the second they see it, the game is over. And if you want to win, you must remain untouchable where it matters most, the parts of you no one ever gets to use. The fourth rule of outsmarting anyone is this: flip the pressure. People will test you. They will challenge you, manipulate you, intimidate you, and push you to fold. That's human behavior. Dominance games are always being played. Most people crack under the weight because they don't realize pressure isn't something you absorb, pressure is something you redirect. Think about it. Manipulators thrive on reaction. Intimidators thrive on fear. Doubters thrive on your hesitation. The second you tense up, stumble, or over-explain, they know their tactics are working. Outsmarting means you don't take pressure like a victim. You turn it back on the one applying it. You don't retreat. You reflect. You don't shrink. You shift the weight until they're the one buckling under it. Here's how it works in practice. Let's say someone tries to corner you with manipulation. If you really cared, you'd do this. Most people would defend, justify, explain. That's a mistake. The moment you explain, you've accepted their frame. Flip it. Respond with a calm question. Why do you need me to do that? Instantly, the burden is back on them. They're the ones scrambling to explain while you sit in control. Or imagine someone trying to intimidate you, raising their voice, invading your space, trying to make you shrink. Most people retreat. Outsmarting means you don't move back. You slow down, drop your tone, lower your voice, hold eye contact. When you don't react to intimidation, when you project calm instead of fear, the pressure snaps back to them. They expected you to fold. Now they're unsettled by your composure. Doubt works the same way. Someone says, "I don't think you can handle this." Most people argue or defend themselves. Outsmarting means you don't defend, you lean into silence. You let their words hang in the air until they start to feel the weight of them. Doubt loses its power when it doesn't provoke a reaction. By refusing to take the bait, you make the doubter look insecure for even bringing it up. The key is this: never fight pressure head on. Fighting is reactive, flipping is strategic. It's martial arts of the mind. You use their momentum against them. When someone pushes, you don't push back. You step aside, redirect, and let them trip over their own force. The manipulator becomes exposed, the intimidator looks desperate, the doubter looks foolish. And here's the deeper psychology. People who apply pressure are often insecure themselves. Manipulation, intimidation, and doubt are defenses. They use pressure because they fear being exposed. Outsmarting means you don't show them your fear, you show them their own. Hold up a mirror with your silence, your questions, your calmness. Make them see themselves and watch how quickly the pressure collapses. But to do this, you must master your own emotional triggers. If you let pride, anger, or insecurity drive your reaction, you lose. Flipping pressure requires discipline, the ability to stand still while someone tries to shake you, to breathe steady while someone tries to provoke you, to stay calm while they unravel. That's how you turn the tables. Understand this: pressure is not a threat, it's an opportunity. It's the moment you reveal whether you are the one being played or the one playing the game. Every challenge, every test, every confrontation is your chance to show that nothing rattles you. Outsmarting anyone isn't about avoiding pressure, it's about mastering it. So the next time someone tries to corner you, intimidate you, or make you doubt yourself, don't absorb it, flip it, redirect it. Let them drown in their own weight, because dominance isn't about never facing pressure. It's about making sure pressure always breaks them before it ever breaks you. The final rule of outsmarting anyone is the one most people ignore, yet it's the rule that makes all the others possible. Dominate with discipline. Presence, observation, control, flipping pressure. None of it matters if you cannot master yourself. Outsmarting others starts with outsmarting your own impulses. Here's the truth: the most dangerous person in any room is not the loudest, not the strongest, not the one with the most connections. The most dangerous person is the one who has mastered self-control, because you cannot manipulate someone who doesn't bite. You cannot intimidate someone who doesn't flinch. You cannot break someone who doesn't bend. Most people sabotage themselves. They get triggered, they overshare, they chase instant gratification, they let emotions make their decisions. Discipline is the shield that protects you from yourself. Without it, you are your own weakest link. With it, you become untouchable. Discipline begins with your emotions. Anger, fear, jealousy, these are natural, but undisciplined emotions are weapons in the hands of others. Outsmarting requires you to feel without reacting. When you stay calm under attack, you disarm the attacker. When you don't rise to provocation, you leave manipulators powerless. Emotional discipline is what makes people ask, why can't I get to them? Why can't I break them? That's dominance. Next, discipline your habits. Outsmarting isn't about one clever move, it's about consistency. People may beat you once in a moment, but they will never outlast you if you are disciplined. Discipline in your routines, your training, your preparation, this builds resilience. And resilience is the long game of dominance. When others quit, you keep going. When others get sloppy, you stay sharp. Discipline is the edge that compounds over time until no one can catch you. Discipline also means control of your tongue. Words are weapons, but careless words are explosives that can blow up in your face. Outsmarting requires you to know when to speak, how to speak, and when to say nothing at all. The disciplined person doesn't hand out information, doesn't argue every point, doesn't rush to prove themselves. They use words like bullets, rare, precise, and devastating when released. But perhaps the highest form of discipline is patience. Outsmarting people is not about rushing to win every battle. It's about waiting for the right moment to strike. Patience makes you unpredictable. It forces others to exhaust themselves while you conserve your strength. Think of chess. The master doesn't move fast, the master moves right. And discipline is what keeps you waiting until the exact move that ends the game. This is why discipline is the ultimate form of dominance, because it removes your enemy's greatest weapon, your own lack of control. A disciplined person cannot be baited, cannot be rushed, cannot be easily swayed. They are steady while everyone else is shaky. They are consistent while everyone else is chaotic. And in a world of undisciplined minds, the one who controls themselves automatically controls the field. Understand this, dominance is not a single act, it's a way of life. You dominate with discipline every morning you rise with purpose. You dominate with discipline every time you choose silence over reaction. You dominate with discipline every time you do the work others avoid, every time you stay consistent when others quit, every time you refuse to be moved by distractions. Because the truth is this, people will try to outsmart you with tricks, pressure, or manipulation, but no one can outsmart discipline. It is the armor that keeps you sharp, the edge that keeps you dangerous, the force that makes you untouchable. So if you want to own any room, decode any person, withstand any challenge, and flip any attack, it all comes down to this. Dominate yourself first. When you master discipline, you don't just outsmart people. You outlast them, you outwork them, and eventually you stand above them. These 5 rules are not theories, they are weapons. They are the difference between being played and being the one who writes the rules of the game. Control the room. Read before you react. Never show your weak spot. Flip the pressure. Dominate with discipline. Understand this. Life is not neutral. Every interaction is a negotiation of power, subtle or direct. You are either shaping the outcome or you are being shaped by it. The person across from you is calculating, testing, and probing whether you realize it or not. And if you are blind to the game, you will be played in it. But once you sharpen these rules, you become dangerous in the best way. You become unreadable, unshakable, untouchable. You become the person who commands silence without demanding it, who sees what others miss, who refuses to be baited, and who makes pressure collapse on those who try to use it. Dominance is not loud, it's not reckless, it's not arrogance, it is steady, it is precise. It is the quiet force that bends others without ever breaking itself. That's what outsmarting truly is. Not cheap tricks or quick wins, but the relentless discipline of mind and presence that makes you impossible to defeat. So ask yourself, are you going to keep walking into rooms hoping to be respected, or are you going to take control of them? Are you going to keep reacting to life, or are you going to read it, decode it, and master it? Are you going to hand people your weaknesses, or are you going to guard them until no one can touch you? The world belongs to those who refuse to be underestimated. The question is, will you keep being played, or will you sharpen your edge, step into your dominance, and make sure the game is never played on you again?